So this is a bespoke table that a client asked us to make. They wanted a desk for their home office, which was made of solid oak but incorporated a shoal of fish swimming through it. So as you can see, we hand drew out the fish and then mapped out the shoal itself. These were then routed out by hand to ensure that we kept it as natural as possible. So what we decided to do with regards to filling the show with resin is, as opposed to pouring resin over the entire tabletop, we opted to use a syringe. A couple of reasons for this: it gives you more control over the resin itself, it allows you to see how the design looks and how it lays out, but also when it comes to the finishing process, it's a lot quicker with regards to the sanding down, because you haven't got a full layer of resin to contend with your sanding pads. So this process probably took me around about 4 hours to fill out in its entirety, ensuring that everything was filled and as it should be. We then left it in a room 21 degrees for 72 hours to ensure that the resin cured out nice and hard before we started the next process, which was sanding. So my favorite sander is definitely the Mirka sander. I really like using it. It does a really fantastic job when it comes to finishing. We've started off with an 80 grit here just to work back the excess resin and moved through the grits all the way up to 400. The reason why we do that is pretty straightforward, to be honest with you. If you skip a grit, the likelihood is you're going to leave pigtails, so it's really important that you go through each of those grits, spend a lot of time just taking out any pigtails in each individual piece. After we'd finished sanding, we just did a quick router bull nose around all the edges just to soften those edges and those corners before we went on to the oiling process. So to oil this table, I opted to use Osmo on this particular one. It's a really good product. It is fab for doing desks. My go-to is definitely Odie's oil. It's one of the best oils you can get on the market, and it gives a really good finish. The most important thing here when you are oiling your desks or tables is that you do both top and bottom. Reason for that is if you fail to do the bottom of the table, then that's still open to the elements and can absorb moisture, can absorb air into it, and can allow that table then to bow. So once we finished oiling the table, we buffed off and started with the polisher just to polish through, just to take out all of the excess Osmo that was left on the desk and ensure that we had a nice smooth even finish. And this is the final result. Hope you enjoyed.